All right, guys, you've made it to the final lesson in this chapter, and this video is not going to be super long, but I want to help you guys have easier and smoother access on Tradingview. So I'm going to give you a few essential tools to help it seem a little easier. Okay, first things first, you guys can see at the bottom of my screen, this is considered my favorites on my tools bar. Okay, if you click any of these on the far left, if you click them and just play around to see which ones you would like, you can see directly to the right of my long position tool, there is a star. If I take off this star, then it is removed from my favorites tab, but I like to keep my longs on my favorites tab. So we're going to talk about the different ones that I have and what they are used for. The first one is just my pointer. You can find it here at the top. It's my cross. That's just wherever I'm clicking. If I'm on one of my other tools, it can be a lot easier to just click away from it and then I'll not be on the rest of the tools. Hopefully that makes sense. We'll see more as we continue today. Eraser, so let's say I've drawn something on my screen, anything crazy, I can click my eraser and it automatically deletes that. Another way you can automatically delete things, let's say we do this again, is this arrow way up here at the top. Let's say you accidentally delete something or accidentally draw something. This arrow at the top can make it go back. Now, let's say you do need that thing that you just had and you accidentally deleted it. You can click the forwards tab to bring it back on the screen. Okay, I believe your eraser is on that same first tab. Yep, up here on the left. Okay, next up we have that highlighter tool, which we were using. You can use this to mark out your highs and lows if you want. You can use it to circle stuff or mark anything on your charts. I'm gonna write my initials, boom, right? And then I'm gonna use this arrow tool to delete all of those again. Okay, next up we have our price range. Okay, from here, if I want to measure a zone and I'm not exactly sure how many ticks it is, I can use this tool. Let's say my zone, we'll get to the square box in a minute. Let's say my zone is this big, but I can't really tell how many ticks or points that might be. I can use this tool and drag it all the way up. This tells me that this entire zone is 180 points plus the 25, so that's 180 times 4. There are 4 ticks in each point, plus one more tick for that extra fourth of a move, okay? I believe my price range is located at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th box on the left. As you guys can see at the bottom, I definitely put my star. Now, you can also use the range of the date. That'll tell you how many bars it took to play out or how much time it took. I typically don't use this one, but it is something that you can utilize if you'd like to track how long your trades were. But you can also do them at the same time, date and price. It'll calculate how many points you moved up or down, and then it'll go how long it took for you to move left to right. If you go negative, it'll show you going just down the same amount. But if you pass this initial line, it'll go up positive. Okay, super simple. Again, I just keep the price range because I want to be able to quickly analyze and calculate my risk. Next up, we have the arrow. Oh, let's delete this. Eraser. Boom, boom. Next up, we have an arrow. There are 2 different kinds of arrows. You have this one that just makes a line. I drag this a lot when you guys see my YouTube videos. I just use it to kind of point or drag something. Let's say I wanted to mark out this zone and I click it here and then I add a text box, hi, okay? So I can drag and say, okay, when I'm journaling, this is exactly what happened here. I can identify that is where the change was. It's just a really good annotating tool. This one can be found over here to the left again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns down, and then we have it right here, the second arrow. There's another arrow here. It's just a bigger arrow, okay? I don't necessarily use that one because I want my charts to look super duper clean. Now let's move on to this next one. We have a circle. I don't use this a whole lot, but I'll use it if I see some sort of important levels, that resistance level and that support level. I'll circle how many times prices came to that level. Let me give you guys an example. Price stopped here 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So to make it clear for my students, I will put the circle. Price interacted with this level once. Price interacted with this level twice. Price interacted with this level 3 times. Price interacted with this level about 4 time. So we can see those very clear points of interaction using our circle tool. Okay, we're going to delete all of those using our arrow. Awesome. Next up, we have a horizontal line. Guys, this line is used similarly how we just created that box. If I see an important level that might be a key level, I will go ahead and use my horizontal line. We can see this is an obvious low where there's no more price action. I'm going to put that horizontal line right here, and we can see prices interacted. Let's use our circle tool. It didn't quite tap right there, but it interacted here once, interacted here twice, fully fell through the second time. It wasn't strong enough to bounce higher than this level. Crazy stuff, deep stuff. Don't stress your brain on that. And then, of course, even way over here, price came back to it, tapped it again, tapped it again. So we can see utilizing this horizontal line can be important. I see another key level right here. Okay, I see another level right here. I see a few more levels down here. And I want you guys to see what happens when price interacts with these key levels. Okay, price is not just playing around for fun. It's coming through a level, going back to a level, coming back to a level, finally breaking through a level, breaking through another level, coming back to it, breaking through a whole bunch more levels. Okay, and really just playing around these levels, but it gives us our market structure as well. We can kind of see it a little clearly. I want you to understand something super important we didn't talk about in the last videos, but price will always take the most convoluted pathway to get possibly where you want it to go. But you have to play it smart, you have to have the right timing, and you have to have the smooth execution, okay? By the end of this course, your next step will be to upgrade to the Pro Chat so you can learn a little bit deeper on these analysis within the chart live. As you guys can see, clicking them one at a time was just like, yeah, I mean, so it's cool to have our tools to help us move a little bit quicker in our charts. Okay, next up we have this horizontal ray. Very similar to the horizontal line. The horizontal line will go all the way from left to right, no matter how far back you are, no matter how far forwards you are. But our ray will only start where you first put it. So if I put it right here on this candle, it'll start at this candle and then push forwards. Okay, if I start at this candle way over here, it'll start at this candle and then push forwards. Still a really cool tool to have. I keep it on there for liquidity purposes, just like this. Next up, one of my personal favorites. I use this tool every freaking day. If you trade with me, you're definitely going to see me use it. And this is my trend line. Okay, you can use a trend line to mark if your price is going down. You can use it if price is going up. You can use it for breaks of structure. You can use it for marking out highs and lows. Here's a high. Here's a low. And you can also change the colors for them. I typically do my breaks of structures black. Okay, it can also change how you want it to. So originally it was just a solid line, but I have saved it for dotted lines. You can use a dashed line, or you can use the original like we just started off with, which is that regular line. Okay, whichever one fits your eyes easier to help you see and analyze what is going on the charts. Next up, another personal favorite that I will always use every single day, and that is my square tool. We can see from previous videos, we see there is a strong supply zone here. So I will mark out that zone. Price came, interacted with this zone, and it's just been moving down ever since. We can use our trend line tool to write out that breakup structure. And then guys, you guys notice that my orange box is still orange. I can change that in the blink of an eye. Again, we're going to learn this in just a second. I can make it purple super quick just because I have it saved as that. Once we get to the end of this, I will show you guys how to save it so it can pop up super easy and you don't have to keep, oh my gosh, let me change the color. Oh my gosh, let me type in something in the box. Okay, it's going to be super easy. Make sure you stay to the end. Next up, we have our Fibonacci tool. I don't necessarily use that anymore, but if you guys want to use the numbers and key levels that I use on them, I'll just put it on here for you. You don't see me really using it anymore, but if you do have questions, be sure to reach out. I do live weekly Q&As with my pro chat, so just give me a shout, ask me what it's about. Ooh, bar. But we have, boom, just like that. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can get those levels. We have, let me use this arrow tool. We have the number 1, 0, -1, -2, and -3. Be sure if you do use the Fibonacci tool, you can utilize those. I typically use it like our next few tools. The 0 will be my entry point. The 1 will be my stop loss. The -1 will be my 1-to-1 where I take off contracts. The 1 to 2 is usually what I strive for. Okay. The 1 to 3 is just on there just so I can be like, oh, I went to TB3. That's crazy. You know, just for the fun of it. But make sure you get a screenshot of this because this is super important. The same thing for the downside. I will take my Fibonacci tool, start from my stop loss, move down to my entry point. Entry point is at 0. Stop loss is at -1. 1-to-1 is at -1 where I take off contracts, and then 1 to 2 is my full 1 to 2. Okay. So really just having those will be all you need. I use it for that tool, but I use my regular short and long position tools now. All right. We know how to get the stars in order to make them on our favorites. We have 2 more, then we'll get to saving presets. Then you'll be done with this video. Okay. We have our famous path tool that we can utilize to mark out our market structure as well, guys. I use this every single day because it helps me mark out structure. Okay. You can utilize it anywhere you want. Create your own trend lines, all the things. Last but not least, we have our text box. You guys know I use my KT system every single day. So when you go onto your text box and you type something, let's say Kaya, in order to save this template, guys, we will go to this little tab or template on the side, far left of this zone that pops up, save this template as, write it as Kaya, and save it. So now anytime I type something else, hello, I can always easily change it by clicking it, finding that templates, choosing Kaya, and it'll go back to that every day. I use that as well for my daily note so we can always stay focused on what we're coming to the charts with. Another tool you guys will see me use, not as often as I would like to, but if I want to draw this and instead of having to come back down here and click and draw this again, there is a pencil with a lock right here. You can keep drawing. So I can use that tool, click, make my drawing, and then finish there. Sometimes it can be a little annoying for me, so I don't necessarily use it a lot. But let's just say I'm making a video for you guys and I want to just click the same tool at the same time. I will definitely utilize this pencil. There is another thing that you can lock right here. You can lock whatever tool you're clicked on. But yeah, I don't necessarily use it for right there. The last thing I'll share with you, which is another thing I don't use, but my husband does use, and that is the magnet tool. And I click this magnet tool. See how it's like automatically going to the top or the bottom of each candle that my horizontal line is on. It'll go right to the top of that candle, right to the top of the wick of it. And it's just super annoying because like I want it at a certain place. I don't want it where you want it, you know? So you can use it if you want to. I typically do not. But that's all that I have for you guys in this video. Hope you learned something. Practice saving some of your recent items. I have my breaks of structure saved, my 5-minute demand zones and supply zones saved, my 1-hour supply zone and demand zones saved, as well as my KT system and my daily note. You're now ready for chapter 2.